What a incredibly bearish week we've had. The Dow breaks down now below 30,000. It's at a 2022 low at this moment. Oil plunges, fear spikes, dollar rallies. Will this be another lost decade in the stock market? Welcome to Grok Trade. My name's Dez, aka D7. Happy that you're here. Subscribe if you like this sort of content that I'm getting ready to deliver to you. But let's hit the ground running. Well, right before we do, the reason I'm doing a Friday night video is for the mere purpose so you are informed of the class that we're doing tomorrow morning. So it is a free class. Show up to, it's an algorithm class, or webinar rather. I'm going to be showing you hedge fund level algorithms that took me 2 years to develop on YouTube. YouTube, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there Saturday morning. If you're watching this at sometime after Saturday, you just go to YouTube, look for lives, and you might be able to watch the video on replay. Okay, there it is. Let's get going. The Dow down below the 30,000, guys, and that's what we're looking at right here. I want to pay attention though to the weekly charts. The weeks are over. We still got one more week in the month, but here is the deal. A significant down movement in the markets on the weekly. Down. You know, quick, I can't help but do this. If I go to the spiders, let's see. We are down for the month 7%. We're down 7% for the month, down 7% for the month. Okay, so the NASDAQ is down. What is the NASDAQ down? NASDAQ is down 8%, small caps for the month. And we got a week to go. It's down 9%, small caps. I mean, it's been brutal. Okay. I just want to get a quick look at that. We're 7 to 9% down for 1 month. Your 401ks are just getting demolished. But the weekly chart, this is what we're looking at here. I want to go first to the S&P 500. We're at major support. I said last week that we had a good chance of going higher. We did not go higher. Thank you, Powell. And the Fed, you know, coming out with 75 basis points increase or 0.75% to the upside. And instead of bouncing, I mean, we started to bounce. If I zero this in, look at this. Big upper shadow. Up. We're bouncing. I thought that's what should happen at support. We had all these bullish divergences. Everything should bounce, and sure enough, but people were selling into that strength. Then the report came out, and it just crashed and burned. Now crashing down below a major support level. And it gapped down right to that level. Draw these trend lines, guys. If you draw them correctly, I mean, they are spot on. Been trading almost 30 years, 3 decades in the markets, and nothing out of all indicators and oscillators, nothing is more important to me than trend lines because they help me more than anything, even the horizontal support and resistance levels. This is it. And you cannot find a trading pattern unless you have trend lines. It takes 2 lines to give you a pattern. The only way to have 2 lines is to have 2 swings. The only way to have 2 swings is to have 2 legs. And if you can't identify all of those properly, you cannot draw trend lines correctly. We have 3 different trend lines that we draw. There's 3 levels to this. One day I'll write a book on trend lines because there is not one out there. And I have arguably, I mean, they say you're a professional after 10,000 hours of doing anything. What if you're 40,000 hours into something? What does that make you? I don't know. That's crazy. But let's just keep going. The diamonds, if you look at the diamonds, I shared this last week. I said, guys, diamonds already broke. That shows relative weakness. And sure enough, crash down, bam, to the downside. Qs, looking at technology stocks, we're at support, bam, down to the downside. We broke a major symmetrical triangle to the downside. That is bad news for the long run. Russell 2000, IWM, bam, to the downside, breaking down below a major support line. Not good. Financials, XLF. Bam, down below a trend line. Symmetrical triangle, breakdown. We got into the apexes. I said, look for a big move. Apexes, look for a big move to the upside or to the downside. We're getting it to the downside. Last week, I said chances are we're going to go to the upside, and I'll show you why I was saying that if you weren't here to understand it. But actually, I could show it here. We have this bearish, bullish divergence. See how we're going lower? This is the gold. Gold is going lower, lower, lower here. The MACD is going higher, higher, higher on the MACD oscillator centered oscillator. So that's showing that we're trying to bottom there. Same thing with silver. If you go to silver, we have this lower swing low, higher swing low. This has a good chance of trying to find a bottom and going up. US dollars on a tear, guys. It should have hit its head at resistance and dropped. Instead, it got to resistance and blasted through it. We still have a bearish divergence. This is relatively way overbought. You can see this. Last time on the RSI we got overbought, it sold. Before that, last time we went overbought, we sold off. We are at that level again. We should sell off. If we do that, that'll be a reprieve for equities, for stocks, and also commodities. You will see all of those rise and the US dollar drop. That should happen relatively soon. That's the underlying benefit that we have here. So a good look at VIX on the weekly. Went up to this trend line. Sellers came into the fear and dropped it back down. This is VIX. That means it goes up when there's a lot of fear in the markets. And the technicals are starting to behave a little bit on these are trend lines I had. So a lot of times I can't get VIX to work out on the technicals very well. I'm starting to see them align technically better nowadays. We're in a symmetrical triangle. We have a breakout. Very interesting. Now, the only thing that could happen in the markets, and I want to share this with everybody, and Andrew, if this happens, you'll want to make a video on this. He's our social media guy. This is symmetrical triangle. You guys see it? Price comes into the symmetrical triangle, or the apex of this. We have a breakout, but if it immediately comes back down and then comes back into the apex of this triangle and breaks down, that's called a death hook. We name that. That's not you won't find it anywhere else, but that death hook will come down and it will bleed out, and you'll see this down much lower than what it is now. Maybe down to 15 or 16. I don't see that happening based off the economy, but I'm saying if that were to happen, it's called a death hook, and it will just crash and burn if that happens. Again, not expecting it. Weekly look at Bitcoin, it's just flat doing nothing. All right, now let's go to the daily and show you what I think is going to happen. And again, I could be very wrong because I do not dictate the markets. I just look at technicals. Anytime you have a slide like that, especially with RSI this low, when it got that low, it bounced. That low, it bounced. We're expecting a bounce, but I think it'll be a short-lived bounce. I'm looking right now at the Russells. This is a hammer time, very extended. Look for a bounce to commence. I think it'll be short-lived. Spiders, daily, big hammer, overextend on RSI. Look for a bounce to commence. Diamonds, down, at a support level. Buyers came in, big hammer. Look for this to rally higher. Qs, if you do that, we're at a trend line. I mean, look at that thing to rally higher. Short-lived though. IWM, Russell's 2000, higher, but a ton of resistance. Maybe a one-day rally, Monday. Maybe Monday is our one-day rally. Maybe Tuesday, and then it'll crash and burn. I'd be looking to sell into any sort of rally, and when it hits its head and gives us candlestick reversal patterns. Gold is just down, not looking great. But hold on, before I say that, if you look at gold, it's a falling wedge. I could redo these lines. I mean, this thing could get bullish and fast. So that's just what's going on there. Silver, big drop on Friday. That's no good. Big symmetrical triangle. Let's see if we can break through it. US dollars on the daily had this big rally. Anytime you get this big rally, I'm looking back, I'm not seeing one here. But anytime you get this big rally and then a huge candlestick, usually you'll get a sell-off right after that. And that'd be good for the markets. VIX, up, but people sold into that. We did not break that trend line. So I'm okay there. And a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just doing nothing at this area of support. Let's see what happens there. All right. Now, I did a Facebook live, and that Facebook live for lunch, I just did it. So if you're not following us on Facebook on Grok Trade, feel free to do so. I was just eating lunch. I said, you know what, I'll just do a live while I eat my salad. And that's what I did. And one of the guys there, and I forget your name because I'd butcher it, but you know who you are, are like, hey, can you do the tech stocks? I'm going to do some for you just because you asked. It's been a long time. This isn't. This is educational purposes only. It's not an endorsement to buy or sell any security. All right, I said that. Let's move on forward. Apple. If you look at Apple, it's a great bull flag, guys. If I pull a fib here, I want to see where we're at. We're at the 50%. We didn't even get to 61.8, but that's my line. We had hammers down here, hammer times, a gap down run up. There's your market makers, guys, market maker play for you Grok graduates. Right there, a lot of buying opportunity right now. I think this is if markets go bullish, you'd want to own some Apple. That's looking good to me. AMD is down. So this is very extended to the downside, very oversold with a doji. Look for a short-term bounce. Amazon down. It's just overextended to the downside, short-term bounce. ARC spinning top. Look for a bounce if and only if we go higher, right? It has to go higher for it to continue higher. Hammer, look for that to go higher. That's on Baba. Baidu, let's see what I mean, everything's looking the same. Everyone's looking to go higher. Major area support, booking is not as exciting to me. Let's look at eBay. I'm really liking eBay a lot. eBay looks like a small risk for a lot of upside opportunity, but the markets, I just don't see a large run in the markets happening. Yeah, I could be wrong. Google's looking pretty good. GoPro, Doji after an extended. I mean, these are all set up for longs. Facebook. When I say longs, you don't do longs in a downtrend. Okay, this is more for advanced traders only. Because you're going to have to get out of these and be nimble fast. You never go long in a downtrend. So I got to be careful what I say here. This is only very short-term longs. It could only last a day or hours. It's hard telling. But Microsoft looks the same. Everything's very extended. A lot of buyers. I mean, MU I really like. I mean, that's like, but we have earnings coming up. Never hold over earnings, or that's the rule of thumb. What I like about Netflix, let me go back to this. Netflix is relatively strong. It's not selling off like everybody else, so that's worth paying attention to. NVIDIA, if you look at NVIDIA, nice falling wedge. That's a big-time buy opportunity, I think. Oracle is down, major support. Look for a bounce there. But here, remember there, you could not remember, but there would be like a bounce, and they're just short-lived. They just don't last. So you got to be careful with that. And here's Palantir. And maybe I'm not as excited about that. PayPal, if you look at that, a nice bull flag at a support level with it. I mean, buy opportunity on PayPal. You got to talk to your own registered investment advisor. I'm not saying what you should buy or sell. And Roku, not bad. Shopify, I don't like. I mean, it's going to bounce, but or it has a chance of doing that, but it's in consolidation. Tesla had a 3-day sell-off. Really not liking that. I do want to see something here, though. Of course, we're at a major support level. It could buy. Okay, that could be a buy zone. All right. I stand corrected. That could be a buy zone. And then Twitter, let's see what's going on with that. High base, I like that. I don't like high bases below swing highs, so I'm not excited about that. But chances are this has a good chance of going higher. But this could go either direction. If you were to draw trend lines here, you got this big symmetrical triangle. Look for this to make a big move and soon. Okay, there it is, folks. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Don't subscribe if you don't like this level of education, okay? If this level of education is not for you, then don't do it. Don't subscribe. But we appreciate subscribers. I mean, we're like right around almost 12,000. If you were to subscribe, we'd be at 12,000. And not bad for somebody that doesn't advertise at all. I mean, zero. Really appreciate you guys. I mean, I was talking to somebody today that's been watching us many years. I mean, this cat, he's been trading 40 years. He's trading $3 million, and he's he's been highly educated. He went to Online Trading Academy and some others, but he's looking at us to do education with us, and because we're not the big box guys. We're specialized. We're traders first, educators second, and you guys find us. Another guy who I was talking to on Facebook Live today, and he been watching me 15 years. Thank you. How long have you been watching? Put it in the comments. 5 minutes? Well, in this video, you've been watching at least 15, right? How long have you been following? Just put that out there. So see you in the morning. See you at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, nice and bright and early. Have your coffee and be ready to rock and roll. And I'm going to teach you guys what this world of automated trading is all about, what quant trading is, what you know, and how you can immediately and easily be a part of this. It is fun. If you like to tinker and you like to have control and to make things, which I do, if you're an engineer-minded person, and if you're an artist, if you're a lefty, if you have one of those, and for whatever reason, a lot of weather people who are enthusiasts on weather like to come through our program, and if you're an airline pilot. Anyway, it's really weird that I've been teaching for so long. We get the same type of groups of individuals. Fascinating. But we'll see you Saturday morning. If you're watching this after the fact, just go watch a replay and you can be a part of this. And I'll share this with you guys. If you're a 301 student, if you're a mentorship of ours, you're going to get a big discount on these algorithms. Big. If you are a 301 and 401 student, I'm giving these to you free of charge. You've done everything with our program you could possibly do. We're locking arms with you and making sure you are a massive success in the markets. I want that for all of our students, of course. But it's just my way of saying thank you back to you for continuing your education with us. All right, that's it. See you guys in the morning. We'll see you. Bye.